lots of gossip, lots of shit. Yeah, no, I totally get it. We've answered the Utopia story. If you don't already know, Tux, one of the best low-tier map servers in the world now, for decades, come a long way. And the general theme of all this is that never say that a world record cannot be taken. Nothing is ever done. Not Cyberwave, not the hardest map at the time. Everything will be beaten. Mind over matter and at this point, I think I can transition us. Sorry if you guys want to ask into some really questions from some of my subscribers. So you guys ready for that?
Oh yeah.
First, I want to say hottest surf hits. Despite the, or other than the stuff that we've already mentioned, what are some of the hottest surf hits you talk about surf? I'm gonna go find out what you're last it's missing. I'm so sorry, guys. Think in your heads, and then I will pull up. I'm gonna go right and take the first analysis.
Yours down selected. He's talking about so hottest surfers.
Oh, it was Louis my name, one of the best surfers in the world.
Hi Louis.
Tell me it takes time before I realize it's bottom.
Just assume if you want it's 290 or something.
Which was the best surf map? Bring back telehops. That's my pick.
What? Wait, whoa. Double whammy. Elixir, the tier 3 long map.
It's one of the most fun maps in the server with telehops.
Oh, and telehops, if people don't know, you carry your speed between stages. Was there a point at which stages always had telehops? Is that what you're saying? Or no, that this map in particular had telehops?
Well, every map had telehops because the timer didn't stop you like it does now, or they didn't patch maps to stop you completely. And so what people would do back in the day is you would be teleported or respawn into a box that you fall out of. And so most of the boxes are like very easily avoidable. But if you fall from really high up and create a lot of downward velocity, you can just dodge it all together and bunny hop off the start block.
And do you think that bringing back telehops would do that on the stagnant community? Opportunities for world records, or why?
It would create a lot of opportunities for world records. People would, records is country, so people would play to take them. And then we'd also get cycle back. I keep asking them to some map and I mean, surf's dead anyway.
I'm thinking the one I'll go with is that there's actually skill around the skill set. I think there's a lot of I'll pick on max velocity specifically. There's a lot of people who think they understand max velocity, but they don't actually. They're just mimicking, a world record route or something. And it kind of shows up sometimes if you listen to conversations with surfers. People still don't really get it. They don't fully understand it. And because they don't fully understand it, they can't really apply it to a lot of maps. So sometimes you can identify, there's just a hole missing that, is room for improvement that nobody's thought about hard enough to really go and patch that hole. I'm speaking very abstractly, but I think there's a lot of room left if people put some more brain power into solving, some of the more optimized maps.
I kind of want to ride onto the back of that a little bit in a different. It's kind of a tangent. There's a lot of room to grow in mapping. I think there's a lot of possibilities with surf itself. There's been a big completely, and I think it's there's a lot of things that you can do with surf that are a lot more interesting or limited to ultimate surf or whatever single player mobile. I think there's so many ways you could actually take surf and just not really because none of the tools or the systems in place allow for it. And that could open up a whole new level of non-stagnation.
The game mode.
Yeah, there's it just looked really kind of stupid and limited. But obviously that's wrong. People are insane at it now. But we were messing around with things like you would surf around a map with an op. You and your buddy are both surfing around. One of you's got the op, and you throw it in the air, and the other guy has to catch it midair. And so we wanted to experiment with ways of like, maybe there's a zone that strips the op from you, so the op has to travel through this zone without a player holding it, and then both players have to reach the end of the second player catching it.
So all kinds of stuff that maybe are just locked behind plugins and ways to actually play this game.
Yeah, there might be ways to do it depending on what Momentum allows to do single player stuff like that, where you're carrying an item, you have to throw it and catch it somewhere. Or if you have a gun like in Bunny Hop, you shoot targets to trigger booster stuff. Like, people don't do that in Surf. Like, it'd be really interesting to force people to sideways surf on a ramp to shoot a button. Like, all sorts of possibilities haven't even been tapped into yet.
That sounds awesome. It's funny that you mentioned Momentum Mod. We are a few years out from the initial mentioning and planning, but getting closer and closer. We're very close to 010 and major update. Beetle, were you involved in the early days of Momentum Mod, and to what extent were you?
Yeah, a bit. So I didn't do any of the programming or anything, but I was big into promoting it, and I still strongly believe in the vision behind Momentum. Not as much in the last few years, just because I've been busy and haven't been involved. Yeah, at the time, I think I put together the first pitch point system they're going to use. Actually, it might still be in place. I mean, it's implemented, but it might still be in place. You can also add an energy feature, which nobody has used ever. So.
What is that?
Energy?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm glad you asked.
no.
Okay, so people have been surfing with units, right? Units, that's the big hottest these days. Units is one half of the story though. Units is how fast you're currently going. It's your kinetic energy. You can throw in your potential energy as well, which is literally potential energy you can convert into units. And if you store it, if you watch that instead of strictly your kinetic energy in units, you might have more capacity to do more optimized surfing. It's a more accurate measure of your current state and how good you're currently surfing than strictly units is.
Whoa! And this is in Momentum Mod. Do you think I would be able to use it now if I went and looked, or is this something that is sort of in the back end?
I think it's in there.
I'm pretty sure I've seen it.
Yeah, I think a couple of months ago or something, I checked it out. Pretty sure it's in there. The only thing is it's weird to get used to. It doesn't follow exactly the same rules as units.
Yeah, I think it's a really good tool for new players because I try to use the potential kinetic energy analogy to teach surfers how. But I think the issue is going to be presenting it in a way that's intuitive to new players.
Yeah, it's a little tough to wrap your head around, but I think it has a lot of potential. I wish somebody way better than me would explore the opportunity.
That sounds awesome. I'm gonna have to take a look into it. Now we already asked one of the questions by a good friend of mine, Casey. He asked, at your peak, where do you think you were ranking on KSF? And you both sort of gave your answers. It was like not as high, but you believe you were in the top 30 at your time. Beetle, where do you think that you would place in the top 10 or top 20 if you were surfing right now?
So if I was at my peak skill level and surfing right now, ooh, 25th-ish, roughly.
Just barely
Yeah, I mean, asshole. I don't know what you expect, though.
I mean, I was competing for like stage records with people in the top 25, so it's pretty comfortable. I would be around the top 30. I didn't really go for map records, even though
I was
really
winning
could've.
stage records against people in the top 25, little brother.
Yeah, okay.
I have another question real quick from Paul. Paul is the creator of Surf Deactivation, very good surfer YouTuber. Thoughts on the 24/7 servers scattered around CSGO, and how do they impact the community?
I think they're great. I think they're gonna bring in people that are more interested in the game, and the people that are only interested in the 24/7 game mode, like they would be interested. It's just a good game to introduce people to the game.
They're probably the strongest gateway to surf for new players.
I think those people are stuck in it and think they have interest in it. I don't think it could hurt to have those events and stuff, but I think that's something surfers and run.
Well, this is like, okay, think about it like this from a marketing perspective. If you walked into a Coca-Cola themed restaurant every day, but you only really went to talk to people, are you like primed to go and actually drink Coca-Cola, but you need something to push you there? And then what is the nature of that thing? Like when I think about what is my position as a YouTuber, there's a whole pool of people who have been exposed to surf, but then were never retained. And so my job is like, it's to re-ping those people and say, here's the thing that you tried before and where it is now and why you should come and play it. Does that make sense to you guys?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You just want mere exposure. People play Surf Utopia. I used to say it was a bad thing. I understand more now what the productivity of it is. It's being exposed to the game at the very least, and we shouldn't take that for granted. And I think that's what Paul was sort of asking, because I've expressed a lot of negative opinions about 24/7 for servers in the past. Yikes. Probably shouldn't have done that. But I think I have one last question for you guys. Top 5, and it's going to be a hard one. Top 5 surfers of all time, and we have to agree to a single list.
Oh Jesus.
Yeah, it's gonna suck. But I'm gonna write it down in the
5.
Discord chat, and we're gonna be good about it.
Top 5.
Throw out some fucking names. Get it done. I'm gonna write it down.
Melinda.
Sinsa, Levi, Calf, Roldar, Red Sea.
Wait, Sinsa, Levi, Half, Roldar, Red Sea. We have 6 names. Tropicopter?
I need to find a text file. Give me 1 second.
Ooh, you have like a whole list of former ranked ones in the KSF. Do you want me to give you that?
I've got. I got a good reference.
Tropicopter's got it. Come on. Mellinger is a name that we have not spoken about nearly enough on the channel, and I frankly just don't know enough. Oh,
Hey, that's helpful.
Sinsa, Morning, Kovac.
This is my greatest of all time tier list that was going around a couple years ago.
Yeah, I think Kovac you're including because he technically invented surf.
He literally invented surf. And Quake.
And then that's that video, the 2002 challenge. I don't know if you've seen that. It's really old.
Yeah.
The Mario and the
Okay.
You go ahead.
My 2018 tier list, I'll read off like the first 10 names. Red Sea, Sinky, Melinder, System, Roldar, Sipho, Chromalia, Crashfort, Fisho, Mr. Mitz. I'm so sorry, Mr. Mitz. There's a lot of names here. I'll dump the whole list, but
Mr.
Awesome.
Mitz. Who's that?
I don't know. If that was an alias, I didn't know at the time. People are always changing their names, so
Mr. Muffin's here.
it would have been after Mr. Muffin's time.
All right, then let me ask this, and this will help. Who is the greatest surfer of all time?
Yeah.
Half is an obligation. Needle?
Funny enough, I don't feel super informed enough to answer, but I would probably say Calf, yeah.
Ooh, wait a minute. So we're saying number 1 Half. Now, where does Levi rank on that list?
He's probably technically the better surfer, but Calf has put in the work for a very long period of time. Like Calf is holding. I've told this to Calf sort of recently. Like I think the discussion is between Sinsa and Calf because they're just their numbers that they've put up. Sinsa was very dominant. Like the skill level that he was above everybody else is insane. But Calf has held number 1 way longer than anybody else while having all of these other surfers to compete with.
There's the fact that some surfers just don't want to take Calf for reference. Does that play into that?
I'm not really thinking about that. I'm just looking at the numbers.
If you look at the numbers just by themselves, Capri is above and beyond the best surfer of all time, right?
Yeah, there's also things that factor in, like maybe some of these surfers, someone like Levi maybe could take all of his records, but you have to factor in things like burnout, like how motivated is he going to be to keep going for that. Like I know he's busy and maybe he would have that motivation or could, but Calf has the numbers to show it.
So we have a
So I was just gonna say, the goal is top 5 greatest surfers of all time, right? Okay. I like Calf since Levi. Listen, this might be
Uh-oh.
a hot take.
Incoming.
but I think Red Sea belongs on the list. I think Red Sea is one of the most slept on surfers of all time. He's been ridiculously good for a very long time, but he's a bit of a sleeper. He never pops off and takes 100 records at a time. He's just been extremely consistently very, very, very good for many years. Name that doesn't get enough attention, in my opinion.
And now we need a number 5. And then perhaps QR would also have some input on replacing Red Sea with somebody else. But if we had to do a number 5, what would you say, QR?
Hold on, no question.
Number 3 in the world, Olympic world record holder, Sensei world record holder, all around instant player. Why did you say him?
I think he is probably as good as Levi.
Ooh, I think so.
Like, I think if you're competing on the test, skill-wise, like feeling the technical skill, I think it's going to be between Levi and Levi.
Do you like this top 5? Do you think the top 5 is safe?
Well, I would put Roll Down,
I will say that it's obviously one of his world record finals, but also shout out to all the stays and those record surfers that have been live. Cycle and all those games that were mostly stayed in those record surfers. If they went for world records, they would have this good shot.
This has been an insane season. Over so many different things. You guys are so much. I will have to ask, does Sinky make his way into any of these spots?
There's probably an argument for it before Cap. But Cap is the upgraded system. And legacy and record.
We think Siggy had the skill, but he didn't. Like, he was so close to leaving the legacy, but then he dropped it. If he was around for like 1 year, I think he was
The reason why all these players left is because of that. They just couldn't sustain it. There was no contact. That's really wrong. I'm not lying. Like, Summit stays around for 10 years. CSGO is a cash cow. You can make a ton of money from it. You're just doing the same thing yourself. And it doesn't help that they're supporting you. It's such a shame.
Let's get those numbers up. Let's secure the bad boys.
A couple of like small concerns. We did talk about Keyboard Classic, a little bit about Hawk. I'll have to make a little bit about it. We did talk about Tricks. You can choose between that and Track Mania.
Real quick, I'm good with either, but I will shout out to Trick Surfers who also did make on this list, but extreme powerhouses of surfers, the Bogwell Pilots, and I don't know, there's a ton of surfers.
Was he?
I think he was really good at trick surfing. I don't know if he was top tier. I'm eating my words. I'm gonna get yelled at in the comments.
If we had to
Anyway,
choose,
sorry.
would you guys think you guys would prefer Trick Surfing over Track Mania? It seems a little bit more on topic.
Go for it, Beetle.
I was gonna say maybe we lean towards Trackmania just because
Yeah?
I feel like that's where we're kind of bleeding surfers to Trackmania.
It's well, I will say Trackmania has laid the foundation online for Surf to do the exact same thing. Like, if you title your videos and make your thumbnails like Virtual does as a surf content creator, you will find success no matter what. I haven't done exactly that, but if somebody just wants to come along and do it, you could definitely do it. QR, you were also a Trackmania player. How long ago did you play?
I can't remember if it was 2008 or like 2010. It's around there. It was before I started maining surf, so it was probably around.
It was right after you invented Halo trick jumping and right before you invented Maxwell surfing.
It was years after I invented Halo trick jumping.
Oh, I'm so sorry. There was a lot of other inventions along the way.
Yeah.
Invented Trackmania. You invented Trackmania.
Actually, yeah, a little known fact, actually.
Wow. Holy shit. You were doing this before Virtual was even born. What was it in all of these games do you think that you really loved about speedrunning and about was it being the fastest to you? What attracted you?
Mechanics. I've always been a fan of movement in games. I like if you add movement to anything, it's going to raise the skill ceiling, like the potential of skill expression. Like the more you can give people, and there is a breaking point where it becomes accessible and bad for community and casual players. But if everybody, if you like took everyone in the whole world, made the most competitive person you could, then movement and dynamics and mechanics in games would be great. Like just different ways to approach things. I think I like when things are dynamic and creative, and movement is a really good way to do that.
I think a lot of surfers must share the same sentiment because we are losing them to Trackmania, as Beetle said. Fishu, Sony, you played it, Beetle Hop Ship, and most importantly, Tux, has recently won Cup of the Day against some of the best players in Trackmania and is currently a top contender. Rest in peace, Surf.
Part of that is, part of the reason I would think is that Trackmania is a studio that can pump out content, and so there's always the new map to play and grind and stuff like that. Like we just don't. It just takes too long to make maps in Surf, or there's no motivation to, or we don't have like powerhouses to really crank them out.
I don't know if you know this, but the maps in Trackmania are community created, and I think a big thing that Surf can use to is a custom map editor like Trackmania has that doesn't require hundreds of hours of learning map editing.
Yeah, that's fair.
A good friend of the channel, The Ancient One, recently made an incredible video where he challenged 6 people to make a bonus in Hammer. He had one person drop out, 2 of them just like didn't look right, it didn't work, it was a mess. People learning Hammer for the first time is simply impossible, and you can see that video as a big hindrance to Surf doing the same thing that Trackmania does.
Yeah, I think Trackmania, is you load up the map editor, it gives you a tutorial, and to place a ramp, you click like 2 buttons, and from there, it's like, figure out the rest. It's real easy and intuitive.
That's a super good point. Mapping in Source, or at least it's grueling. Even if you get to a point where it's like, oh man, the surf is really fun, making it look good is just hours and hours of mindless work that is super motivation killing.
It would take Surf in a whole different direction if we had community players pumping out maps at the rate Trackmania does. It wouldn't be the same pool of 1,000 maps. I mean, it's a kind of thing, right? But it would be interesting to see. I think it would be a fresh
I will, correct me if I'm wrong though, what Hammer does afford creators to do is a ton of more leeway. Sorry, they can create way more stuff. Like, I'm thinking of the end of Surf Angst or Omnific. Can you do custom stuff in Trackmania in the same way where you can
I think you can get creative with it, but you're definitely right. You can't go as crazy as you can in Surf. I mean, ideally, you try to get the best of both worlds, right? You get a simple, intuitive interface, and then add advanced stuff for people to do crazy stuff if they want. But yeah, I don't know if that's in Trackmania right now. It is a good point. We wouldn't have some of the super creative stuff.
I don't even know if you can do custom textures, but I don't think that you can make custom models like that.
You can. I think they're kind of part of a separate package to the map that gets auto bundled or something. But
So what
I
are
think
some
there's
of
a future there.
are there other
Oh, sorry, go ahead.
no,